Yes, hello, Red Gypsy.
Oh, good morning, Howard and everybody.
Good morning.
I was going to bring up a couple of things, although, Eric just did that. I wanted to say one thing, that I was at AGT, and Ronnie was totally professional.
This Ronnie, I got to tell you, he really is insane. I didn't hear the wrap-up. Gary played me a piece of the wrap-up show with Ronnie about this car, and I turned to Gary and said, I think Ronnie's losing it.
What happened?
Well, I don't even understand. So John Lieberman says, hey, Ronnie, the story was Ronnie got a new car. Ronnie blew up, and he's going nuts, and he's arguing. There was an argument on the wrap-up show. It made no sense. You got to hear this. Did you hear the wrap-up show?
No.
All right, listen to this.
The story was you have a pace car that you're driving around town.
What I had. That was the problem.
That was the story, and that's what I went on the air with. I didn't have all the details.
You came to me, John. You came to me and said, I heard you got a new car. And you didn't say anything about pace car, schmace car. You said, I heard you were fishing.
Why does Ronnie care if someone says he got a new car? I don't even...
So what if he's fishing? He has an objection to this whole thing.
And that's what we do. In other words, that's how you get paid. The way we make money is that John Lieberman is part of the Howard Stern show. You are losing your marbles. Why would you be upset about the guy saying you have a new car? Who cares? And the reason he's in the hall asking you questions is he's making you a part of the show. He's making you famous. And then you go out and do Ronnie's block party and you make money and you get to meet fans. This is all you dreamt of when you were sitting in the car.
It's part of making you more compelling.
You're going crazy.
I've lost my mind.
I want you to listen to the playback.
I lost my mind.
I got a new car. You had no idea what the car was. You had no clue what it was.
I had from 3 different sources that it was a
stop
pace
with your
car.
sources
So I
bullshit.
went on the air with it, and then you confirmed it. So what's the issue? What's the issue here? There's no issue.
The issue was I confirmed it myself later on. You had no story when you brought it up. You had no story, John.
Ronnie, you're almost like, I can't get through to you. It's like you don't have a normal brain.
I have a normal brain.
Listen to me. When you report, I confirmed the story with 3 sources, and then with you yesterday, by blowing me off, you confirmed it.
No, I didn't.
You said...
I said nothing.
What did you say?
I said to you, I don't know what you're talking about.
And then when I kept questioning you, you finally said, yes.
What did I say?
I have a car. We're playing the clip today on the news.
I didn't say what it was.
It corroborated what I had from 3 other sources.
For 20 years already.
So I went on the air with it because I was confident in the story. I had it from enough people.
No, you weren't confident because you didn't know what the car was.
Doesn't matter. I knew it was a pace car, and I knew you had it at home.
Dude,
why do I need to know the year?
You're coming in with having them bring in different pictures, different colors. You're telling me the car's orange. You're telling me the car's pink. You had no clue.
The structure of the story was true, and I stand behind it.
Well, good. You stand behind it. I think it was bullshit.
You don't. How is it? So it's not true?
It's true now.
Thank you.
I said it was
That's
true.
it.
I said it was true afterwards when Howard asked me. I said it was true, not to you.
Do you hear this argument?
What are you doing, Ron?
I don't know. And I was going to say to him yesterday, you got to calm down. You get upset about everything lately. And then he starts attacking me. He says, Howard likes his electronic devices. Yeah, I do. And if they ask me if I got a new one, I'll tell them. I don't listen. If John
there's a difference between walking around and you got a new phone,
right?
And there's a difference between driving around in a car that stands out a lot, and I don't need people knowing it's me. That's all. I don't need people bothering me.
You got a car that people will look at, and now you don't want them to know it's you?
To see it.
Yeah, they'll see it, but they don't have to know it's me. They don't have to know it's me.
Why buy a car that draws that much attention?
Oh, here he is. I don't want to deal
John
with him.
Lieberman.
I don't want to have to deal with him now.
You don't?
Why don't you care?
I can't stand him.
Why?
I can't stand the man.
But Ronnie, he's part of the show. He's doing his job.
He's a shit reporter.
Is this on right?
Yeah.
You don't even know how to put a microphone on. It's on backwards, you idiot.
Oh, dear.
This is a different one than I normally use,
boo-hoo. It's different than he normally
You have become such... You're an ignoramus. You don't know what you're speaking about. You came up to me in the hall about 5 minutes ago. You say, I know who your sauce is. I know who your sauce is.
It's a source.
Yeah.
I said source.
You didn't ask Richie Wilson.
Oh, ask Richie Wilson.
What is the story with this car?
Play what I did to him yesterday, how I made him blow up.
What do you
Play
mean?
that.
What is that? This is it, no?
When I said he was a shit reporter, how he went ballistic.
Well, here, I mean, I'm in the middle of the Ronnie argument.
So
That's
what's
what I'm
the
bringing
issue?
out.
You're confirming my story.
No, dude. You had no story when you went in there.
If it's not a story, that would mean you don't have a pace car and you're not driving it around town.
You put the thought in his head that I have some kind of a car.
I don't know. I don't know which part you're talking about.
It's right towards the end.
I think that's all I have. They give me clips.
Oh, he went crazy.
I did not go crazy. What I was saying to you, Ronnie,
they were falling out of his head, dude.
I was making...
Listen, let me explain this to Ronnie. The reason we hired him,
I don't care,
is because
I don't care where you hired him.
Yeah, but you're working.
I don't like
here.
him.
Yeah, you don't
have to like me.
I don't like you.
You don't have to like me, but you can politely say no comment. But you see, when your reaction is so out of bounds,
that's all I have to say.
Sure, you can say no comment
on any story you come to me with.
You know what? I just don't.
I don't like you.
So if it's about Ronnie's block party,
send Lisa. Send Lisa to me. I love Lisa.
I will send Lisa. Fine. No more block party stories.
Okay.
And you know what is out of bounds? I've never attacked you in terms of your security job.
I was just fucking with you like everybody fucks with me.
I have never personally attacked you.
You work on the Stern Show. You work on the Stern Show. Take your fucking medicine like I do.
Are you kidding me, Mr. Hypocrite?
Take your medicine. I take it all the time.
Ronnie doesn't know what hypocrite means. You explain it.
No, I don't.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
But
I'm fucking stupid.
You attacking my reporting is ridiculous, and I'll give you an example.
There are a number of you because
you
sound like me now.
When I go up to Gary, and I ask him a question, he is forthright. I say, Gary,
because all the stories you do on Gary.
No, because
Gary's running for park recreation there. Gary,
let me give you an example of a story I did yesterday that Gary didn't want reported. I say, Gary, I heard you were in a car accident. I had two sources.
What happened?
I had two sources telling me he was in an accident. And you know what Gary does?
How come you killed the story?
It was on the air yesterday on Howard 100 News. You don't listen?
No, I hate the news.
Oh, so you can criticize, but you don't listen to what we do?
Stories. I don't like your stories.
Okay.
I only listen to Lisa's stories. And Shuli. They're the greatest.
You know what?
Reporters.
When Shuli's awesome, Scott DePace.
Shuli is the best reporter, man.
DePace.
He's even funny when he does his stories.
What about
Scott DePace?
Yes.
When I confronted him yesterday about some allegations that I've been hearing.
I know what you're talking about. This TV camera was supposed to be covering him. He was having a meltdown about something, and he had the cameras turned off. He's instructed people not to shoot his picture.
There are a lot of things.
I got word about.
Don't shoot him when he's leaning back in his chair either.
And I will take this up with Scott off the air.
Hey, bring it up because, dude, there's no truth to that. Let's go. Howard.
Well, here are what my sources say.
My sources. Here he goes again.
I have multiple sources.
Oh, I know you
here,
do, man.
And I protect them. That's why I get
pay
these
him,
stories.
Probably.
Yeah,
I
pay them.
Pay him. Little informants. Little,
yeah, because I'm not spending my money on pace cars
that you fucking run around chasing after.
Howard,
what'd you find out
going on?
You little fucking spies.
But can I say something to Ronnie? If you don't want to be noticed in your car, don't buy a pace car with writing all over it.
It's a collector's car, okay?
Yeah, but if you don't want to be noticed, why?
I don't bother you with what you do. Why do you have to bother me with what I do? Why does that bother you so much?
I'm saying the logic there that you don't want to be on the news.
There's guys with 50 cars in their garage that collect cars. No, I have one.
I have no problem.
It's a crime. I know. I'm
you
sorry.
Don't want John asking about your car because you don't want to be noticed. That's a car that you get noticed in. I'm sorry. I mean, you're going to be noticed in that car.
Dude, if they don't see me and they don't know it's me...
How are they not going to see you? There's glass in the fucking car. They can look in and see you.
And the glass is tinted, okay? Just like when you get in a car.
It's not that tinted.
Oh, it is.
No, is it legal?
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
What is that, Scott?
It's a convertible.
Oh, Gary.
Yeah, okay. Do I have to put the top down, Gary? Do I have to?
But you will.
Do I have to put the top down?
You don't care if people see you in that.
Oh, stop it now.
You're looking for attention. That's why you get a car like that.
Oh, please.
Hey, why have a convertible if you're not going to put the top down?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I had to get rid of my. I had a convertible once. I put the top down. A guy jumped in the car with me, and I said, perhaps I shouldn't have a convertible. But I said to myself, it's silly to have a convertible if I can't put the fucking top down.
So you got rid of it.
Of course.
Now he's saying he wants a car that gets attention, but he doesn't want the attention.
Yeah, he doesn't want attention. You better do a follow-up story on that.
Oh, we already got it. He already said that he'll refuse to tweet out any photos of the car.
Right.
and he wants to know who my source is so that he
I know who your source is.
You absolutely
Who is
do
it?
not.
I ain't telling.
Who?
I know
Why
who it
are you
is.
not
I know
telling?
who it is.
3. Name
I
them.
know who they are.
Name the 3.
I know exactly
Name
who
them.
they are.
Name one of the 3.
I know one of them for sure.
Who is it?
I'm not telling you.
Why?
I'm not going to rat your rats out. I won't rat.
What? Why won't you?
I'm not going to rat your rats out.
Who do you think
You got rats all over the place.
Yes,
Yeah, I know
do.
you do.
Yes, I do.
I know you
and
do.
they're watching you.
Yeah, good. Let them watch me. Who gives a shit? Let them watch me.
Nah, you give a shit.
Look at you.
I'm just looking at you.
I'm
I
looking
can't
at
believe
you.
it. I'm seeing a grown man upset over a pace car that got out on the air.
I don't like you. I told you that. I told you that in the hallway.
And I told you do
I
not have to
don't
like me.
you.
You don't have to like me, but you can say no comment.
No
I've had
comment.
many other people not like me.
No comment, and I don't like
Isn't it
you.
okay to rat a rat out though?
No.
And give your idea on who it might be?
No,
Why? Why are
absolutely
you
not.
protecting them?
Why should I?
You're protecting his source?
Because I'm not like that.
Thank
I
you.
don't rat people out like he fucking rats people
I
out.
never rat people
Yeah,
out.
okay.
I never give up my sources on anything like this DePace thing. Let me tell you about this DePace thing.
Go ahead.
I have people running.
Everybody knows about that. The whole hallway knows
Yeah,
about
well,
what
he's
went
got a
down.
report on that.
It's all bullshit.
I
What
have
do you know
people
about it?
I'm not saying anything. It's
All
not
right, so
my.
let
It's
John
not my
say it,
business.
What we have
You know what,
confirmed
Ronnie?
is this.
You would make this show very successful.
Yeah. Ronnie, you don't understand. We need information so
Okay,
that
good.
we can have a show.
All right. Well, then let him do it. Let him be the rat
Well,
ass.
here we go.
Scott DePace,
Shit reporter.
according to multiple.
According to multiple sources.
Sorry, I heard the
Stinks.
shit reporter commented.
Stinks.
You're a terrific reporter. Don't listen to him.
Stinks.
Could I please get this
Yeah, go
story
ahead.
out before I really have to take action?
Oh, ooh. Is that a threat or a promise?
No, I'm talking to Howard.
Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Be my
Go
guest.
ahead.
Multiple sources, Howard, say that Scott DePace
Multiple
has
sources.
set rules in the Howard TV control room.
I heard
he
that.
must be notified when he's being shot by a camera
Yeah.
because, in part, because he doesn't want any unflattering images of himself on the Howard TV behind the
Here's
scenes.
another guy
For example, when
who
he's
doesn't understand how we make a living.
For example, when he is sitting back in his chair.
Thanks, Scott,
Yeah.
for taking the heat off.
He doesn't want those moments captured. And in fact, I have confirmed he shined a mag light in one of the cameramen's cameras because they were trying to get a shot of him yesterday.
Has everyone gone nuts around here?
And he called.
can I
And he
say
called
something?
one of his producers.
How are we
and
going
he
to make a
called-
living?
You did call one of the producers back there unintelligent yesterday as well.
Is any of it true?
Wow.
Is any of that true? And I believe it is true.
Bits and pieces, but not for the reasons he's
Bits and
saying.
pieces.
Go ahead.
So the first thing is,
yes.
I simply don't want a camera spying on me. I have no problem when a camera. When
Me neither, asshole.
Well, none of us want a camera spying.
So all I requested was that they let me know when they're shooting and when I'm in the control room. I'm in the control room doing my thing.
Yeah, but something went down that would have been good on Howard TV.
No, not once. I simply
What was the
said,
event?
I want to know. Now listen. So, no, let me explain to you.
John, what was the event
No,
that
let me
he
explain.
boycotted?
Let's hear, Howard, with all due respect,
I
let's hear
never-
what he says so that I can contradict it with facts.
On the life of my kids, I never told them they can't shoot me. Never once.
But the other day they couldn't shoot you.
They could too.
They have to inform
no,
you.
all I said is just let me know. So it went, a couple of segments went by when all of a sudden I look over my shoulder and there's a camera there and I'm like, hey, can you just let me know? So then apparently, so they were letting me know, but it wasn't loud enough. I wasn't hearing it. So I said, well, can you tap me on the shoulder or do something so that I know you're shooting me? And that was the whole controversy.
But I thought there was something going on that was of particular interest, and the guys were afraid to pick up the camera because they couldn't alert you during it because you were having a meltdown.
Yesterday, my switcher was melting down. I'm doing all this stuff, and you were yelling at me because there was shit in the monitor.
Right.
Rightfully.
Was that the incident?
There was another incident as well during when
Tell
let's hear
Lee
it.
to get in here.
when Kelsey, the woman with the large breasts, came in,
Right.
and there was the jumping jacks incident back in Howard TV.
Right.
My sources tell me that Scott told them not to shoot it, and in fact yelled at Greg Carmel, the cameraman, for documenting the event
All right.
when he was just
That
doing
is
his
a
job.
flat lie. That's libel. I'd
Well,
like
then
to
let's
take
get
that
them
person
in.
to court.
Then let's get them in
Whoever
here.
That person is.
I
That
have
is a flat out lie. The only
So
reason
are
I did
you-
it was because there was a camera.
Are
there.
you censoring what is being shot of yourself?
Never once. No.
You're not censoring.
Can I ask a question? I got a question.
Not that I'm aware of.
Scott, if you get into an argument with somebody,
Yeah.
somebody doesn't have time to tap you on the shoulder, but it's interesting. Will they get in trouble if they shoot?
No, I'm talking about that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I'm doing my job and over my shoulder there happens to be a camera there, and not when I'm arguing with someone. That's of course fair game.
Nobody shoot it yesterday when you were having this huge argument in the hallway, and Jason went out, and everybody was afraid to shoot it because they were told they can't shoot you.
What is this?
All right, listen to me. Listen to me. Yes, Doug, what do you want to say?
Bring one of these people in here. Is this one of them?
That's one of them.
No. I'm actually going to defend Scott.
Listen, let me say something. Never mind your defense. Here's what I'm going to say.
Well, I'll tell you what
I got to cut through the bullshit.
He's not interested in that.
Everyone, cut the bullshit. None of you are superstars. I am a superstar. You are not. The reason people know your name is because of me. Why do they know your name? Because we make everyone part of the show. You don't pick and choose what you can be part of. Get the cameras on and let's go, baby.
Can I just tell you what happened?
Jason
saw this fight, part 2. Now, I don't know why John, the great reporter, is not reporting that he has this all on. He was in there with the microphone. They had part 1. It was all on camera. It was all on. He recorded it. So they picked it up in the hallway after the show, and I guess there just wasn't a camera around.
On the camera, why don't I have the tape this morning?
I don't know.
In other words, if it were anybody else, you'd be Gary. You're not going to believe this. Jason and John Hine had a huge fight. Here's the audio.
Good point. Why is it not being
we
shown?
can. I think you're going to be bored. Is
there an edict, Doug?
Why didn't you do this?
Is there an edict? I did the story yesterday on Howard 100 News with Lee versus Scott. But is there an edict that Scott cannot be shot in unflattering positions when he's leaning back in his chair?
No.
Well, I don't think I want to be shown that way. And if I knew a camera was on me, I probably would straighten up. Of course, I'm not an idiot.
And that's the point here. The point, what Gary is saying is, cameras can shoot Gary ad nauseum, but you are putting rules on what cameras can show.
Well, if that's true, then tell Gary to turn that camera on 24/7. I want to see what he's doing in his office.
It's on all the time during the show.
No, it's not. He hits a button and it goes on for 10 seconds.
That's after you fucked me last year. All
right. Lieberman, you got this one wrong, pal.
I did not get this one wrong. I totally stand by this.
All right, as long as it's straightened out now.
Yeah, sort of.
Everybody's a superstar right here. Ronnie doesn't want to be asked questions.
Yeah, they're all going no access.
No access. No access. We won't have a show anymore.
Never said it.
Lieberman, good job.
Thank you.
Bullshit.
Good job. Bullshit.
No comment. Scott.
Well, I got King of All Blacks wants to comment. Thank you, Red Gypsy. King of All Blacks, yes.
Yeah, Ronnie and a couple other people up there, they want to be you.
Right.
But without the criticism.
Right.
They just want to chill and be a superstar, but they want to be you. Like, because it seems like you don't get any criticism from people.
Right.
So they want to be like you. And,
right.
And what's going to happen eventually is they're going to grow a hatred to you.
Right. King's on track with this.
Yeah, you know I'm always on track.
Not always, but this time you are.
Yeah, I was like, boy, he's making sense.
Yeah, I mean, look at this guy. All of a sudden, he's making sense.
How's my phone sound?
The phone
not
is
that great.
It's not great. I don't know why, but thank you, King. All right, Mark, you have the last word on this, and then I really do have to take a break. And then we'll do a nude workout and a lot of other things, Robin. If you can undress during the commercial.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, smart.
Everybody else, too.
Yeah. Not just you. What is it, Mark?
I love you, Howard. I got to say, Ronnie seems to be a bit insecure. I think he realizes he might be in over his head, and he's pedaling desperately to try to keep his head above water. That might be why he's so offensive every time he thinks someone's attacking him.
Yeah, he goes on the offense. You're right. I mean, guy says to me, "Did you get a new car?" He's like, "Oh, get a new car. Fuck you asshole."
Yeah,
I mean, but the cursing.
You brag about that, wouldn't you? I mean, shouldn't that give him bragging rights?
Sure. Why not? Listen, Ronnie says Howard has his things. He likes new electronics. If Lieber says you get a new phone, yeah, I got a new phone.
Hey, Howard,
and he talks about it.
I can almost understand why DePace would be kind of ticked off. He just doesn't, he doesn't want unflattering pictures of himself taken. I don't think that's right that he makes that edict, but that's his edict.
Yeah, he certainly takes unflattering pictures of us.
I don't understand the Ronnie thing even for a second.
Yeah, no.
I mean, Ronnie wants to be a judge on the intern beauty pageant. Ronnie wants to come in here and help out with Kelsey and the bathing suits. But the other part of that is also allowing yourself to be exposed in other ways.
Absolutely.
I don't get it.
Well, the best is I bought a car that everyone will look at, and I don't want them looking at me.
Yeah, he doesn't want attention.
So either he's crazy or he's retarded.
He's got to calm down a little, and you know what it is. He's getting very big with his Ronnie block party.
I think he needs some psychotherapy.
That's the problem. You're getting a little. You got the Ronnie block party.
Right, Fred.
What?
I'm crazy. I told you that.
I'm just really trying to understand this, Ronnie. I don't understand like the venom towards Lieberman. I mean, Lieberman's just doing
Fuck
his
Lieberman.
job. Why?
He's a shyster reporter. I don't like him.
He's a what?
Shyster.
A shyster.
A shyster.
I don't like him.
You know what a shyster is?
Yeah, I know what a shyster.
What is a shyster?
Never mind.
All right, that's right.
I don't know. Whatever.
Listen.
But you're funny too.
Calm down.
No, I don't. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything.
That's right. You do nothing.
I'm not.
So be happy.
Yeah,
you got to go.
Yeah, here we go.
Well, I just agreed with you.
Here we go.
I agreed with you.
Nothing.
You do. You said I don't do anything. I go. I agree.
All right. You're right. I do nothing.
Wait, I agree with you.
I do nothing. You're right. Why do you have me? If I do nothing, you're right.
If I agree with you,
I'm part of the wallpaper.
No, you're right.
I'm fucking crazy. I told you that.
Didn't you have Lieberman to your house for a barbecue? Didn't you have Lieberman to your house for a barbecue?
Yeah, because I like his girlfriend. I can't stand him.
Oh, what, John?
No.
Didn't he have you to a barbecue?
And his nice son. He has a nice son.
Yeah.
But he's a douchebag. I'm sorry.
You like his girlfriend and his son.
Okay, let me tell you something. Jim McClure just sent me an interesting email, and this should put this to rest.
Look at you.
You told everybody at the barbecue.
Look how angry you are.
You told everybody at the barbecue that you had, which I attended.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That about the pace car. So it can't be a secret. You wanted it known. I didn't hear it there, but you wanted it known.
No, I told friends of mine what I was doing.
You know when
You're
you
not my
tell
friend.
people that it's going to get... You're not my friend either.
Good.
And by calling on me to be fired yesterday, that is extremely disrespectful.
Look, yeah, that's the part you missed on the wrap-up show.
Because I would never question you in your capacity. I would never say, Howard,
Dude,
I think this guy should be fired.
I was tweaking your buttons just like everybody else does to me. And you didn't like it at all.
And
you
DePace,
you went off the deep end when I said that to you.
No, and
you
DePace
went
is a
off
man.
The deep end.
I will give this to
Ronnie,
DePace.
You went over the line. He never criticizes your job.
Never.
Oh, I was screwing around with him like everybody does to me.
You
Okay.
went over the line.
All right. Yeah, I go over.
I don't make personal attacks.
I go over the line.
You said he's not
I
competent.
go over the line.
You
And
said
at
he was
least-
incompetent.
Look, at least Scott DePace stood...
Yes, sir, General.
At least Scott DePace stood there. Listen to me. At least Scott DePace stood there just now and answered my questions.
Good for him.
Admitting that he has put rules on when the camera can shoot him.
You're
He must
Jewish.
be alerted.
You're Jewish.
You just told me...
Dude, you're Jewish. What are you talking with your hands for? Jewish people don't talk with their hands.
Scott, you just told me...
Italians
that
do,
you-
like me.
Scott,
What the hell's wrong with you?
Scott, you just told me that you
Look at him. Look at
alerted everybody that you have to be told when you are being shot.
Where's your black dick, man? Let me see it.
Yes, that's true.
Thank
I
you.
think Ronnie's
Howard, did you hear
yes,
that?
I listen. You don't have to justify this to me.
You're so upset.
I am not upset at all, but I don't like... I do not like when my professionalism
You're
and
not
my
upset.
profession is questioned. I know how to be a reporter, and I am not
You didn't
here
talk
to
straight.
explain
Look
to
at
you.
You're
I am
upset.
not here to explain
Look,
to you
you're turning red,
the
man.
fundamentals
The
of
blood pressure's
journalism.
going up.
All right,
You're going to
listen.
blow an eye vessel like me, man. Look out.
Now you pissed off John.
I'm done.
Did he just throw down the
Yeah. It's getting crazy.
Everybody around here is nuts.
Mark, go ahead because I got to take a break.
Well, I feel for you, Ronnie. It really sucks when it feels like people are teaming up on you.
Well,
but, hey, you got people out there that are supporting you. I'm
Thank
not
you.
sure where they are, but they're out there, okay?
teaming up on him. They asked him if he got a new car.
Yeah, I don't know quite what to say about it. Maybe he's self-hating and projecting it on others. I can't quite.
I mean, what kind of question is that to blow up over?
Don't you want to know about Ronnie's new car?
Yeah, but he certainly doesn't want me to. That's why.
But he's driving around in a pace car. I mean, he's not in the Indy 500.
That's like waving a flag.
I mean, that's like me going out in my fart man costume saying, "Please don't comment on what I'm wearing."
It's like skywriting and saying, please don't read the note.
Right. I mean, what is that?
It's like a woman walking out with Band-Aids on her nipples
I'm
and
going
saying,
to walk
"Don't
out of
stare at
my
my
house.
tits."
I'm going to walk out of my house naked and then say, "Please don't comment on it." I mean, what is that? Yeah, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, if Ronnie can't handle jokes about his pace car, how's he going to handle all the jokes after Richard blows him? Because even if Ronnie takes a joke, he's going to get jokes about it for the rest of his life.
All right, thank you, Matt. You had the last word on that.
I'm telling you, we're getting into a weird area with those two in a funny way. So it's out there. So Ronnie's doing this weird move where Ronnie's just leaning against the wall, and Ronnie's at the far wall, and Lieberman's over here by the green room, and they're just yelling at each other. And Ronnie's like the guy in the movie, like the gangster, like flipping the coin. He goes, "You're a shit reporter." And for some, I don't know why, but Lieberman goes, "Fuck you! I'm not a shit reporter." I'm telling you, it's getting weird.
Oh my god. Do they know that?
It's completely repetitive, by the way. Like you could go out there an hour, and the conversation will have not changed at all.
Started up again. It's like that Star Trek.
But Ronnie has figured. But here's the funny thing: Ronnie has figured out if he calls him a shit reporter, it gets under his skin.
Right.
But Ronnie can't. We talked about this on Rapid News. Ronnie doesn't understand how you rile him up to get under his skin. He doesn't. No, he doesn't like me. I go, but you don't really not like Lieberman. You're just fucking with him. He goes, I know. It's very interesting.
John, why did you finally crack with this Ronnie nonsense? What pushed you over the edge today?
Calling me a shit reporter.
I only speak the truth.
But you're typically able to separate the two.
I am, but you know what, Greg? I am able to separate the two, but I don't like to be called a shit reporter in front of millions of listeners and viewers of Howard TV. I mean, nobody likes their professionalism questioned, and that was the point. I've never once questioned Ronnie's professionalism. I've never once said Ronnie's a bad security guard, or Ronnie isn't good at his job, or Ronnie isn't good in this way. I was simply reporting a story, which, Greg, I want to point out, turned out to be true. The story I reported was true. He has a pace car. That is the bottom line here. And Ronnie trying to tell me how to be a reporter is completely and utterly ridiculous. And then suggesting that I should be fired goes too far. It just goes too far.
What do you think this speaks to? I mean, why would Ronnie take these roads? Why would he go down these avenues?
Because... Fuck. Because when you have no defense and you're backed into a corner, you scratch and claw your way out.
And that's I'm always watching you.
Exactly. But this Ronnie thing is not going to end, because the reality is, when you break it down, he knows how to push my buttons and I know how to push his. This may go on forever.
Just remember, I'm here behind you, man. I'm always around.
Watch those cupcakes. He's putting on a few pounds with the cupcakes.
He's worried about me watching cupcakes. You should be watching the TV screen, man.
Is it safe to say that the honeymoon is over? That your little golden era that you enjoyed
my
the first
1 year.
year?
You know, this week marks my 1 year. I think the honeymoon, or maybe it was, it marks my 1 year. So my honeymoon's over. But, you know, at the end of the day, we'll just have to see what happens moving forward.
Keep up the good work, John. It's a sign of your solid reporting that you've started to crack some of the team members around here.
Thank you, Greg. You're next.
Sucks. 70 sucks. Watch this camera.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
You get a special kind of kick out of when you get a rise out of John Lieberman or any of the news reporters.
You know, everybody's got their guy they pounds on around here. I'm one of the guys that gets pounded on by everybody. So you know what? I like giving it back now. I like it, man. I'm pounding.
No more punching bag.
I'm pounding, man.
You're doing the punching.
I found my punching bag.
And now
I know how to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to get to him, man. Could you close that door, please?
Why did this story
in
particular get to you? I mean, there have been far worse things reported about you than having a pace car.
I just want to be left alone. Leave me alone when it comes to that.
But don't you
Do you want people following you around the fucking street?
Well, of course not. But don't you think?
I mean, I don't mind. I like people. I like doing the comedy shows. I like going out there and seeing everybody. But I don't need them following me around in my car. Do you get my point on that?
Do you not like?
Do you get my point on that?
I thought that was a rhetorical question.
Do you get my point?
Yes.
That's all I'm asking.
Yes.
Do you get my point?
Yes.
Never mind. You're like the rest of them.
But why did this story in particular really set you up? There have been far worse things.
I just told you. What don't you understand about that?
I guess I didn't get your point.
What don't you understand about that?
Yeah, I guess I didn't get it.
I guess not. Have a lovely day, please.
All right, Robin, let's hear from John Hine. John Hine, what's on the wrap-up show right now?
Scott DePace denies that he must be notified when he's being shot on camera.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's got rules all of a sudden, but we're going to clear all that up.
Edict in these parts.
Deny that.
Just keep the. I am the boss around here. Keep a camera on him. That's it. No more rules with it. Everyone has special rules. Tim all of a sudden goes, "Don't tweet this. Don't put this on." This one, Doug Goodstein has the rules. Everyone's got rules around here. This is how we make a living. If you don't like it, you should work somewhere else.
So can we put a camera on you when you don't realize it's there?
There's a camera on me all the time.
No, but when you don't.
When I'm doing the show, during the show hours, there's a camera on me all the time. That's it. Wait, what do you?
I've never once said it can't be. I just want to know when it is.
It's on you now. It's on you all the time. Now you know. So how can you not know? It's on you all the time.
So, all right, and
now you know.
That goes for everyone, right? I could just walk up behind him with a camera. Anyone here?
Sure.
At any time I want. That's what we do all day.
What do you think we're doing? What do you think's in the halls with Howard TV? You work for Howard TV.
There's a light on and you know that it's there. This is totally hidden.
What? Hidden? Get out of here.
Scott, when there's a
What
camera,
show do you work
the
for?
studio is not lit, so whenever there's a camera on, it should be a light on.
No, that's where you're wrong, Gary, because I can't.
You don't see it as a camera?
I can't see the monitor.
All right, listen to me, Scott. I'm going to explain it again. It's so simple. There's a camera on you all the time. Now you know.
I installed my own camera for that. I don't want a camera sneaking up behind me.
Hold on. We work on the Howard Stern show. We have cameras on. You work for Howard TV.
The director, not a.
The direct. You ever watch the Academy Awards? They got a fucking camera on them.
I'm the producer, and Lieberman's the news guy. Lisa's a news person. Fred does everything, and we all participate in the show.
And Scott, if you do that, that means everyone else does that, and then we don't have a show. And Howard TV doesn't have a channel, and you got to go find a new job.
Why are you different?
Put the camera on Gary full time then. I want the camera on full time.
But we're not saying put it on you full time. We're saying when something interesting is happening, like in the hallway when two people fight, there's no light.
You know what? He clearly doesn't understand how he's paid.
No, both of you guys don't understand. I fully understand. I've never once said no.
Scott, the camera is on you during the show. That's it.
Here's what it really is about.
All the time.
At any time.
I want to see. How do I know if Gary's doing
It's
something
on
interesting?
all the time.
Can Gary's be on all the time?
Why is it about me? It's about you.
We have a camera in the hallway. They run around with it all the time.
Gary.
Here's what this is about, Howard. I'm going to tell you right now. This is what it's about, which is the stupidest thing. Sometimes when it gets late in the show, Scott slouches in his chair.
Right.
You're like way down low, like almost like he looks like he's falling asleep. And he does not want to be shot like that. And he's told people, don't shoot me like that.
Shoot him slouching in his chair. I want to know when he's slouching in his chair.
That is not what.
And the camera is now on, and it will be turned off.
You have it wrong.
The camera is now on. In fact, if you look behind you, there's a cameraman. Take a look behind you. There he is. There's a cameraman. His name is Jason.
Oh, it's a big fat guy.
Yeah.
Give me your best.
The camera's now on, and it's going to be turned off in 2015 when there's no Howard TV and there's no more Howard Stern show, and then everyone will go get a new job where there's no camera.
Okay, I swear to God.
Don't slouch in your chair.
Sneaking up behind everyone with a camera. I'm going to find stuff.
Good.
I'm going to see.
Go ahead.
Doing stuff.
Good. I can't wait to see it. Howard TV fans will love it.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of tape.
Thank you. Gee whiz, he doesn't know the camera's on?
Scott, real quick. What's Howard not understanding about your...
Oh my God, fucking everything. Everything he gets wrong. It's unbelievable at this point. He doesn't understand that, you know, this is a 5-hour show. And to have a camera sneak up behind you, I'm not into. And you know what I'll do? To punish him, I'm going to clam up. And they're going to get nothing out of me. How about that?
Well, explain what you're doing. I mean, right here, you're having to pay attention to monitors. You're not able to know what you're trying to say is you're not able to see.
You're helping me out.
You don't have the visual cue of a light coming up behind you because that light would impede you from doing your job.
Right.
Just like if my light or Rob's light impeded one of them from doing their job, they require us to turn it off.
Yeah. Like if I did this to you, you couldn't shoot me.
Could potentially ruin my lens.
So, yeah, it's a sneaky thing. It's basically having a hidden camera on me all the time. So I don't understand why it's different with Gary. Why can't he have a camera on him all the time? And let me see if something is interesting or not. So,
what do you do? Howard 100 News investigation is raising questions about Howard TV director Scott DePace's use of the robotic camera that's perched behind you, Howard. Scott admits sometimes using the camera to focus on Howard's screen that shows the list of callers waiting on the phone. This controversy started because Scott was mad that Steve Brandano didn't give him a heads up when certain people called so that he could have
a good story that you just did. You just did a fine piece of reporting. Thank you. That practice is no longer allowed.
Howard.
That is for my eyes only, not for Scott DePace. I don't want to share who is on the phone, or I don't want to make my screeners uncomfortable with what they write on the screen. There is no reading of my screen anymore. Do we
So Scott
understand?
DePace was using his cameras to figure out what
I was doing nothing wrong. First of all, I can always.
Do we understand each other?
Yes, Howard, but allow me to tell you something. I can easily go back in Will's office and see the same thing. It's not like I'm spying.
Don't spy on me. Scott was looking at my monitor where the phone calls come in to judge whether or not Will was stacking the deck against him and things like that. I can't have that go on. I can't have somebody pressuring someone about their job. No one is to look at the computer screen where I have notes about callers. It's for my eyes only.
This is such a.
I don't.
This is such a crap story.
Listen to me.
What does he think he needs to learn?
One of the things that we that we as a crew have done in the past, which is simply take one of the cameras and look at Howard's call screener, just so we can see what callers are going to come on, and I can get the pictures prepared to use in my caller boxes for the viewers.
This story is a hard-hitting, factual case. You admitted it, Scott, on the phone yesterday.
I told you
trained
if
the
we had done
robotic
it.
camera on Howard's call screen. Those are the facts. I didn't read anything into the facts. The facts are that you trained the robotic camera on Howard's call screen occasionally, in part to see who's calling in about you.
How can you dispute that?
Bullshit.
How is that? What about that is not factual?
What is? First of all, I didn't hear
what
half of what you
about
said
that
because
is
I was
not
running down there. But I explained to you 10 times that if we had done it maybe 10 or 20 times, maybe once I looked.
He's using the tools that we give him for the show so he could spy on the show, and that's just not a cool thing. I spoke to the guys who work the phones, and I said, okay, so tell me, guys, how many times would you say Scott has called you because he's seen a call on the screen about him,
right,
and he's complained about it? And they said 10 to 15 times.
That is a bunch of bullshit.
I would guarantee.
What a maniac! He was like Herman Munster. He's like, no.
He's got real evidence. Here's a guy who's been made fun of 1,000 times and been called an ape and gorilla and a beaver, and now he's going to make fun of me. Whatever.
I would prefer that you not train your
I don't train
camera.
anything. Usually it's Phelan doing it on his own.
He started to bring my name into it, saying that, it's mostly me that looks at the monitors, not him. And I guess he was looking for some heat off of him.
9 times out of 10, when I see something on the screen, it's not because I asked to see it. It's because Phelan had done it, and I happened to see it.
Do you feel as if he threw you under the bus?
Yes and no. He got my name out there, which is nice. Anybody that follows me on Twitter, that's Bri Phelan, 121212. But I don't get offended or upset like he does. So, there's a way to play it. And if you don't say anything, then nothing becomes of it. When you start throwing your hands up in the air and start banging the studio around like a 5-year-old, then you're going to get called on it.
I was interviewing Brian Phelan.
Yeah, what did he say? I know what you were interviewing about. Me supposedly throwing him under the bus. I didn't throw him under the bus. I just stated a fact. Okay. Yeah. It's the end of the story, right?
It's your ass. You're getting run over. Phelan's just waiting for another bus, all right? It'll come to him. Don't worry. But take it like a man.
That's what he said.
He said, I can't wait for Scott to find out Jason leaked the story.
Leaked it? Yeah. I don't know if it's leaking when you go right up to the news and say, hey, you guys should do this story.
Jason doing that's a home run. That's why Jason's a good guy. He comes to me with stuff that I know is going to work on the air.
I just reported on something I noticed. And Howard told him to not look at the screen anymore. So clearly Howard thinks he doesn't need to look at the screen, and that's good enough for me. You said there's that guy Vinny's on the phone. Right. He's saying something mad about me. You know within 30 seconds when it's up, so you scan it and you complain when people say bad stuff about you.
So what?
Where's the
give
lie
me an example. What do I say?
I just gave you an example.
So I say, don't. Hey, Will, please don't put that guy up.
You say lower the phone call.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, you're gonna call me a liar? You call me a
You
liar?
are lying.
Okay.
You're totally lying.
I'm not
I've never
lying.
done that.
I was so mad at Jason, I decided to take what little things that I had on him and turn that into a news story.
I was in the coffee room, and the intern said they're getting 2 cups back. Are these Benji's again? Because no, I already got Benji's. These are for Jason.
Are you sure they're for Jason?
Well, I don't know, but that's why you need to verify and then tell Howard. Because that's
Howard
great.
anything.
Oh, come on.
I'll throw my people under the bus.
You throw me under the bus?
Here's the story. Okay. I've witnessed more than one occasion Jason having interns go back and get coffee for him. That's true. I've seen it. They go to college, and here they are being interns, and that fat lazy ass can't go get his own fucking coffee.
So DePace claims that Kaplan uses interns to get coffee. And the fact of the matter is, Kaplan does use interns to get himself coffee, along with other members that are actually in the studio.
Guys, who knows how to get coffee? You? 2 large black coffees. Hey, when you make them, how many little cups do you use? 1. All right, use 2 per cup, okay? 2 per cup. Yep. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, man, checking in. Thank you. Do we want on my desk? Thank you.
But then what happened was DePace took it a step further and said, I'm not sure that Kaplan's boss, Gary, would feel very good about him sending interns out for coffee. So, of course, then I go to Gary, and it backfired on Scott. You're Jason's boss. What are your thoughts on Jason having interns bring coffee?
Well, my first thought is what goes on in my office is none of Scott's business, so he shouldn't comment on it. And I know that they send interns out to get them breakfast every morning. So, you know, he should figure out how to direct the show instead of figure out what Jason's up to.
This is part of this escalating war between Jason and Scott DePace. Scott was also claiming that Jason is misusing his power by sending interns to get coffee for him.
When that story came up on the air, Howard backed it up 100%.
Jason is very busy during the show.
Yeah, he records everything that happens.
And I have him doing 20 different jobs, and if he needs a cup of coffee, I'm okay with that.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Why are you shocked?
He has time during the commercial breaks to go get a cup of coffee.
No, he doesn't.
I think it's just ridiculous that a grown man with, although he is a fat guy, who can't walk 25 feet to go make his own coffee.
He's obsessed with me.
I know.
He's obsessed with me.
You've been trying to tell him, get me in trouble for everything possible.
You're obsessed with me, Scott.
Tit for tat, then Jason, fat fuck piece of shit, then tried to get me in trouble for working on my Video Caddy website at work.
Well, Scott, you were right. I send the interns to get coffee in the morning. For Fred, Benji, for myself, sometimes for other people here, sometimes for the guests. It's part of their job. If we want to go down this road, I can certainly start reporting some of the things that Scott has people do. Why don't you ask Scott DePace about how many hours at work he spends working on the Video Caddy website?
Jason Kaplan went on the record to suggest that, Howard, you should get a piece of the company because the work was done on your time and your dime.
Scott, is that true?
Howard, we've talked about this in the past, and if it happened once or twice, that was it, and we've already talked about it, so this is an old story.
I have not worked on a website in a year. When someone pisses me off, I don't generally talk to them it takes me a few days at least. In the case of someone like Jason Kaplan, who's thrown me under many times, at this point, I still don't want to talk to him, and it's been a couple years now.
If you want to come back and say something else at me, I'll come back with something else. My back pocket is huge, like everything on me. And I got lots of stuff in my back pocket on everybody. Everybody.
I find myself, for the most part, to be the one throwing people under the bus, although I don't like to do it that often, but when I have a tidbit, I'll pass it along to Howard. I went to dinner with Ronnie almost 2 weeks to the day after the party with Ganji and Richie Wilson.
Right.
And we were talking about the party. Right. And he was like, well, I said, we put a clip reel together. We pulled a bunch of clips. He said, what'd you pull? I said, Howard's speech, Robin's speech, JD's poem that he read, from your speech, and your speech. And he said, "What the hell are you talking about?" I said, "Don't bust my balls. Stop it. I didn't make a speech." And he was dead serious.
Do you not remember you made a speech at the party?
I was there. I remember doing the thing with JD. That's what I remember. Wow. I said up there. That's what I said.
All right.
I knew I gave a speech. That I remember every word of it? No.
This is a man who took me from a limo seat. I've sat in a limo in a broken down limo car. And this man took me.
This was a social, non-work event at a restaurant in his fucking town that he invites me to. And then he throws me under the fucking bus like an asshole.
He doesn't know he made a speech?
He wasn't goofing on us, and he thought we were goofing on him.
There's your speech. You don't remember? Are you excited to hear your speech on the show Monday?
Dude, you're never safe. You're never safe. There's no such thing as safe. It's like constant. It's a constant TV and radio show. Constant.
On Howard's computer, one-way instant message system that we get to send Howard notes on. And a lot of those notes are, hey, prank phone call on GP1 in purple. And so what we'll do with this is Richard and Sal come back and tell us, hey, this specific prank call is on this page in this color.
So Richard and Sal put up a bit. They let me know the bit was up there. I put up a note for Howard.
We did go out on the street and ask people about Gaddafi, and there were several women who actually were upset that he was gone. I mean, I can't imagine. It was wild, right? Let me see. I'll play it for you.
A lot of times when Howard's talking about something, we'll put a bit up. And if he doesn't get to it soon enough, we take it down because a lot of the pages are congested.
You put up a sign, GP1 in white. There's nothing in white.
Is this Scott's problem? Is this Scott's mess?
I don't fucking know whose problem it is. I don't know. It gets me annoyed.
Howard calls for the bit. I'm not looking at my computer screen. Gary yells out for the bit. I yell where the bit is. It's in GP1 in yellow, whatever. And the bit is gone. So everybody's confused. Mass confusion.
Who put the fucking note up? Give me a fucking answer.
Richard put the note up.
All right, so where is it?
Column 2, GP1 in white.
GP1 in white is Ronnie Munn inside the actor's studio.
GP1 in white.
Is Ronnie Munn, so we don't know what that means.
I don't know. I didn't come in here. Let me get Richard. Hold on.
I need to know who put a note up. I need an answer. Richard. All right, so someone's got to answer the fucking question.
Gary was really pissed. It's kind of like at the zoo when you taunt the apes and they go crazy and get really angry and start throwing their feces at you. If Gary hadn't already taken his morning shit, I think he would have shit in his hand and threw it at me and Sal.
I'm screaming and yelling and nobody's answering. In other words, you put a note up and then nobody knows what it means. You're telling Howard Gaddafi bit and it's Ronnie bit. So it's, I don't understand. Here, come here, look. Right here, Ronnie Munn inside the actor's studio. So what does that have to do with the Gaddafi bit?
We had a Gaddafi bit up before and he didn't go to us, so we took it down and put this.
I know, but now, why? I don't understand. If you put stuff up, leave it up. Let me be the final decision on it. I would have taken the bullet. Maybe I would have taken it down, but I'm taking shit for something I didn't have control over. I'm the one who's going to get yelled at. Howard, what the fuck is going on? The answer is I don't know, and nobody can answer me.
What do you want?
Before you know it, I look like an idiot. Richard looks like an idiot. Gary doesn't want to look like an idiot. He runs into the studio and he makes Howard aware of what just went down.
I want to explain to you, by the way, what went on before, because I lost my voice because I was screaming. Richard and Sal put up a note that had these Gaddafi things, right? Then they were up for like 45 minutes. I guess you didn't go to them. So then
they were up for 5 minutes.
Well, whatever it was, for some reason you didn't go to them. So Richard and Sal put something else up, and they took them down. And I go, "Why did you take it down? You never take anything down."
Listen, we got to have a fucking meeting.
I talked to him about it.
The second they put something up, I can't respond to it. It's in my head that it's there.
So they said,
if they put something up during, they have to leave it.
I said that to them, and I said, "Why did you take it down?" And Richard goes, "We were out of colors." I said, "Fucking, there's a million colors." Oh, come on. So I talked to him about it, but I wanted you to understand what happened.
It just makes me sound like a fucking idiot.
I mean, they've never taken anything down before. I don't know what the rush was. The page wasn't even full.
There was nothing on the page, and then I go there and it's not there.
Here's the difference. I want to know what happened. Howard wants to know what happened. Somebody says something in the office they don't want people to know, and somebody repeats it back. That's throwing a person under the bus. There's a huge difference.
Once I know it's up there, I'll get to it. I might take a half hour to get to it. I might take an hour. I might take 2 hours to get to it. What is the rush to take it down? So once you put it up there, leave it there, and then take it down after the show if I don't get to it.
When we screw up, it hurts. It hurts big time.
Just to keep this from happening again, when we put a song or anything up for Howard to play during the show, we don't take it back down until after the show.
The great thing about having TV cameras here at all times is it no longer is a matter of hearsay. There's actual video evidence that somebody did something stupid.
So Gary and Howard were talking about how Gary botched the vacation schedule and he miscounted.
I'm in a phone conversation the other day. I go, Gary, okay, if we work this week and we work that week, blah, 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 blah. He goes, Wolf, okay, now you have to be quiet. I'm going to count the days that we...
I can count?
Boom, a trigger went off. We have a piece of tape that we got like maybe a year and a half ago of Gary holding up 4 fingers but saying 3. He goes, 3.
We got a great clip of Gary counting wrong.
Every single... You don't even know where you have to be.
Yeah, I know the clip.
We come back here.
Yeah, we have that ready to go. He counts to 3, but he holds up 4 fingers.
I'd like to plan a vacation, too.
Good, plan it.
Fred needs to put a bunny on.
I'm thinking about going to Costa Rica.
Howard TV has a funny clip of Gary counting wrong.
What?
Yeah. Let me hear that.
I'll go over here and figure it out and come back with a number.
What do you need, a calculator? That's how he does my vacation.
It was 1.
In a courtroom, 3. And he holds up 4 fingers. Listen, that's the guy counting the days.
Do I like doing this stuff? No, but is it part of my job? Yes. And Gary would have done the same thing to me, I'm sure.
That's why we're here today. Did you see 4? He says 3 and he holds up 4 fingers.
That schedule went... I just want you to know, that schedule went through...
Robin.
Are you undependable?
I do not think I am undependable.
But Howard asking you that just cuts you to the core.
Well, okay, do you think that Howard's being disingenuous when he says, hey, I just asked a question? Do you think there's a difference between asking, do you think you're going to be able to make it in tomorrow, and can I depend on you? Do you think can I depend on you is a bit of a loaded question?
Yes, I'd absolutely.
Right.
Is. And we all knew it, but apparently you didn't know it.
No, I did know it, but he's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And then well, I'll there's a guy up on the board that take the call from number 7.
Oh, I just took 4, so hold on.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Chris, you go first, then we'll go to 7.
Chris in Connecticut.
Hey, Chris in Connecticut, how you doing?
Hey guys, great show. Listen, Gary, I think Howard and Robin are a little out of touch with things. And I understand what you're saying. You want to be there with your family. There is stuff that you can do. They have people that can do that stuff for them. I don't know. I think it was just, I think it was a little too harsh on you.
Well, that was the other thing, too, when Howard at one point said words to the effect of, and then all the anger come out. Gary goes, you have 2 houses and you have a staff of people. That's not jealousy or anger. I've never been jealous of his home. I am so happy for him that he has what he has. I'm just saying you have options that I don't have, so don't compare us.
So this is one of those weird things, and I'm talking as a Howard Stern fan, not as an employee, where I disagreed with every single thing that Howard said to you about the hurricane, and yet enjoyed every single second of it. I mean, I was laughing. I felt bad for you. I came and talked to you, I think, a couple different times, but oh my God, was that funny? Even though I thought he was totally wrong in what he was saying, it was still great.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
that's what we talked about last week. That's the weird backhanded compliment I get.
It is
love you, Gary, but I love what he yells at you.
Did it make it worse that Shuli was in there piling on?
It didn't. And Shuli's out having a cigarette. I told him, he goes, should I have a cigarette before the beating? I said, have 2. But because I think there's a line of people who want to beat up on him. But when you sit in the studio, yes, it's your job to be funny. Now, I didn't think everything he said today was being funny. I thought at times he was piling on. And even if you are being funny and you are piling on, you can't expect to walk out of the studio and act like it didn't happen. When you go in there, you're saying, all right, I'm going to fuck with Gary,
And if there's repercussions, I'll deal with it. But Shuli wants it to be like, what do you mean, man? What are you talking about?
So, first of all, the funniest thing that happened was after the show, you asked me, Shuli, if he was going to have time to come down to the wrap-up show.
I didn't. No,
Shuli always has time to come down to the wrap-up
I didn't.
show.
He just said, do I have time for a cigarette?
Even when John doesn't have time for Shuli to come down to the wrap-up show, he finds time to come down to the wrap-up show. You know, I thought Shuli was brutal to you, and some of it was funny, and some of it was, I can't wait to see what's going to happen off air between Gary and Shuli, like if there's going to be tension there. But, you know, there is something to be said, since Shuli's not here, to say, like, hey, he's auditioning for a job. I would imagine.
That's fine, but you can't blame it all on, hey, I'm trying to get the job, so I made you look like a piece of shit. And I said to John, it was a lot like the kid in school who accidentally does something right that the whole class did wrong. So he accidentally decided to take the room, probably because he just doesn't want to be home. And
please, first of all, is there anything more embarrassing than Shuli gloating about the fact that he left his wife and newborn baby at home? I mean, forget Howard for a second. He kept pointing out to Howard, oh, how cool am I to be at the hotel?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what, Shuli? I don't think you look that great.
He goes, hey, I'm going to be here. I'm the good guy. And I found that annoying. And Shuli, in all fairness, is not a homeowner and never has been a homeowner. So doesn't Shuli, I think he rents, correct?
I don't know.
Hey, John, we're trying to see how long we can go without you talking on your own show.
It's okay. You're doing great.
I think he rents a house somewhere, right across the river. So if a tree falls, he's like, "Go pick up all my shit, let the water come in. It's not my headache."
Will was there. I'm going home after the show. I'm trying to get a car service to go home after the show because I will not be able to relax tonight thinking that my wife is home scared. Even if it's just listening to the wind and being scared, I can't hack it. And Will is very much undecided. And I told him, I go, when you get a call at 1 o'clock in the morning that a tree branch came through the window and your wife and kid are screaming and they need someone just to comfort, forget fixing this shit, just comforting them.
Well, you're
gonna feel like garbage. And
but that's a huge point. Yeah. Because so Robert's like, what are you gonna do? Cut a tree down? I'm like, no, but maybe I can help my family from being scared shitless.
Right. You want to be there for them. Right. And Jason, you're right. But Will also is thinking, am I not dependable then? Am I letting the show down because everybody else is coming here and braving whatever they're braving and staying in the hotel in the city?
Who's staying in the hotel?
Everybody who came in.
No, we all.
I don't know who's staying
in the hotel.
Shuli.
Shuli's the only one. And Tim lives in the city.
Tim lives in the city. I think Brandano's staying.
Yeah, he's staying.
Yeah, but he's got nobody.
JD and I, and that's true. JD and I have
you have
nobody.
each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the question is, who with the family is staying in tonight?
Nobody.
Can I just tell you, if I didn't have a wife, holy shit, Tim got us sweet fucking hotel rooms. I mean, 30th floor suites with huge beds and internet. Yeah, in fact, I almost came in last night and I told Janice's.
Why don't you bring Janice in?
It would be more fun. I wanted to bring Janice in last night. We had the hotel room for last night because the transportation was shut down.
Yeah.
Even though it's a pet-friendly hotel, she would just not up and leave. I couldn't make her do it. She just would not. Even if I said we could bring the dog and the cat, she was like, I'm not leaving the apartment.
I do want to say one good thing about my staff, because I really do love the guys that work with me. For a guy like Jason or a guy like Will, this would be an excellent opportunity to stab me in the back. Meaning to say, this would be an excellent opportunity to take the hotel room and say, listen, I'm dependable. Gary's not dependable, but I'm going to step up.
Only an asshole would take this as an opportunity to better themselves by putting you down.
Shuli's here.
Steve, I see Steve Brandano laughing back there. Shuli, you, I think, did a very good job in the studio today, and everybody hates you.
Well, that's how you know you did a good job.
Well,
it is.
My question to you.
So
I thought it was like they were like some sort of funny meter.
I sat Shuli down and told him how to work it, and that's what he walked away with.
Shuli,
everyone hates you. You're doing something.
Shuli,
right.
When you were in there, were you thinking twice about how far you were going to go? I understand Howard saying, Shuli, you're going to be here. Like, of course I'm going to be here. But you went well beyond, of course I'm going to be here.
Well, listen, it comes down to the age-old scenario, which is there are no guests today. So we definitely become the guests on the show. And somebody's going to get their shot, whether they want it or not.
But that's not the question. That's a cop-out. That's not the question. Isn't, yes, there were no guests today, so I'm in the hot seat, Ronnie's in the hot seat. How far you go doesn't depend on whether we have a guest or not.
But since when do we set up? But Gary, since when are there limitations on how far we go?
No, there are no limitations at all.
Okay, so then what's the problem?
But do you think are there going to be repercussions? I mean, there were you and Doug when Doug busted your balls on the air, whether it was funny or not. You were pissed.
About with the baby clothes?
Yeah, are we allowed to even say that?
No, I don't know.
But I'm just saying, like it was something happened on the air.
No, absolutely. Listen, I knew I pissed you off, But going back to the first time I sat in for a week, I pissed you off before the show even started. And I came to you right after that and I said, Gary, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I got into this goofing mode with the guys. And you said, if you don't do that, then you're not doing your job.
Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that I can't get pissed off at you.
And that's fine. You're entitled to. But I'm just saying, it's the same thing you told me not to shy away from last time.
I thought you were being a big, I'm trying to think of the right word, like a jumper on, like you
shitster.
No, you accidentally did something correct by taking the hotel room, and you were going to rub it in everybody's face.
Well, because it wasn't easy for me to leave last night either.
Well,
I
it's
imagine
pretty
everybody.
easy.
No, it wasn't at all. But at that point in time, when he's busting your balls, it's, I'm adapting to the situation. I'm not going to sit here and go, yeah, I had a long talk with my wife and it was up and down whether I left. He doesn't want to hear that. He wants to hear jokes about you.
Yeah, but some of them weren't jokes. That's my point.
Well,
they were jokes at times. Some of them were like, yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. You can depend on me. And that's just not a joke. That's just being a dick.
All right, well...
but there's a difference.
Okay.
I'm all about... I will take almost any amount of shit if there's a joke involved. There was a lot of shit today where there were no jokes involved.
By me saying you can depend on me that I'll be here? That's me being a dick to you?
Do you think it's funny?
Well, I didn't think it was intentionally being an asshole to you. I think maybe you got pissed off at Howard, number one, and then as usual, everybody piles on, and I'm the new guy piling on, and it's easy to put the blame on me.
I'm not blaming you. What you said is, listen, Gary can't be dependent on, but you can depend on me. I'll be here.
No, that's what your boss said, can I depend on you to be here? And you said no. And then I just jumped in and goofed.
And then a couple of times after that, you unsolicited volunteered, I'll be here tomorrow.
I'm just busting balls, Gary. I mean,
and I'm just saying.
Okay, and if you want to be mad at me for it, I understand. If you want me to apologize to you for making jokes, then I don't know what we're talking about here. You're just telling me you're pissed that I'm a dick?
But do you think that you could just do that in there and walk out and everyone should go, oh, it's just a show?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm pissed at you.
Okay.
And that's what it is.
Okay.
Now, Ronnie, you go.
Fuck him.
Now, Ronnie, you were really pissed off today at Shuli, but I forgot why.
No, what do you mean really pissed off?
Like you were genuinely
like Gary's
angry.
really pissed
Yeah, well,
off.
no, he said that I'm here. I've been here with everything, through every fucking thing you could possibly think of, blizzards, fucking 9/11, everything else, and this guy to come in and start ranking on me now because I'm not sure if I can cross a fucking bridge tomorrow. Shut up, John. I'm not talking to you. Don't even open your mouth. I see you going for the microphone. Mind your business.
That's John Lieberman he's talking to.
Yeah, exactly. That's right, you.
So you're upset with Shuli because he questioned your professionalism?
Yeah,
or dedication.
Yeah, I got a house too that I got to worry about. I got
So do I. I
don't have a house.
I have a 2-year-old. I have a excuse me. It doesn't matter whether it's a fucking apartment or a house. The odds of something getting flooded and shit falling and trees falling are just as much a reality for me as it is for you guys.
That's your decision.
And I made my decision.
Okay, good.
And if I want to comment on it,
and if you weren't sitting in on the show this week, you wouldn't be fucking worried about it.
That's
You'd be
your
home.
opinion.
You
That's
would
your
be
opinion.
home.
You don't know that.
Oh, I know it.
Oh well,
then get off my
it.
case.
No.
All right, then don't tell me to get off your case. All right,
never.
John Lieberman, what do you want to add to this?
Well, Ronnie took the words out of my mouth. I mean, Ronnie brought up the fact that he believed that Shuli would not come in today or tomorrow if he weren't in studio. So, Shuli, the question is, would you be here if you weren't in studio, if you were simply reporting the news?
Here's what changed my mind. Here, I was torn yesterday about whether or not to come in because the reality of it is I would have been out.
Why were you torn, by the way?
Because I know I wouldn't be able to get back home most likely until Wednesday, maybe even later. And I got a wife who's sick. I got a kid, 2-year-old, who's sick.
Screw them.
And they're getting ready to face, blackouts and who else? What else? So I said, listen, I don't know what to do. I called Tim. I said, what do you think I should do?
Don't stay with your sick wife and kid.
And Tim said, listen.
He's smart. Go to a hotel room.
Yeah. I get it. I'm not JD, Jason. It ain't going to work here. But so I said to him, what do you think I should do? And he said, well, Howard said he's working. As soon as I heard that, decision was made. Done deal. I said, if Howard said he's working, I don't want to be on that list of people who don't show up.
But hey, Shuli, first of all, I thought you were very funny today on the air.
Thank you, Jay.
But
I didn't say he wasn't funny.
I mean, I can understand why people are upset, but hey, listen, I understand.
I think if
anybody does.
He was funny today. I just thought there were times when he wasn't being funny, and it just seemed vindictive.
But how are you going to feel if you get a call tonight at the hotel, the 1 a.m, A tree branch fell through the window. The baby's crying. I can't stop. I'm scared that there's so much noise going. Like, how are you going to feel?
It'd be terrible. It'd be terrible, Jason. I don't know what I would do. I would try everything in my power to get back home and to help them any way I could.
But see, that's why I can't. That's why I can't stay in the city
tonight. And I understand. And I'm not knocking you for it at all. I'm not knocking any of you guys for going home.
Yeah, you are.
Well, you did. You knocked me on the show.
But Gary, during the show.
Shuli wouldn't have been here unless I called him yesterday and told him to come in, right, Shuli?
That's
no,
not.
No,
excuse me, Tim. Excuse me. Nobody was mentioning anything about fucking work tomorrow and whether or not people were coming in. So I called you and I sent you an email. I said, are we getting rooms or is it every man for himself? I didn't tell him I'm not coming in. So don't come in and say that.
Tim, what did I ask you when we got... Tim sent me an email
You said, is Shuli coming in? Because if he comes in, I'm in.
What I said was... Tim sent the thing about the hotel.
I heard
immediately
if
right
Shuli
back,
comes
I
in,
go...
the whole
world has to be here. Are you covering meals? And Tim wrote yes. And I said, all right. Well, then
Oh my God. Jason goes, I assume this means transportation and meals.
Well, I'll tell you guys what. I was just outside. You would never know there's going to be a hurricane.
Wow. So it's called the calm before the storm.
But it's coming.
Breaking Holland Tunnel is closing at 2.
Oh, we got to go.
Brooklyn Battery Tunnel closing at 2.
Hoboken closing at 4.
So it would be fair to say that Letterman would be 99% not doing a show today, correct?
Well, we wouldn't have... First of all, his show can't go on without guests, so I don't know who he's having on.
I think his show could go on without guests.
Have they ever done one without guests?
Well, I think he's capable of it if need be.
If nobody can get there, then I mean, if the bridges and tunnels are closed, then there's nothing anybody can do unless
Sources
they're already
are
in the
saying
city.
all bridges and tunnels will be closed by 4 o'clock today.
So what happens?
Sources.
So what happens? I set my alarm for the same time I do every morning, and I get up tomorrow morning at 4:15. And the first thing I do is I go on the internet if I can get internet at my fucking house.
Right, your power's up. Good.
But I have a generator, and I see that the bridges and tunnels are still closed. So I now physically can't get in. It's not a matter of would I like to, do I want to brave it? I'm not going to be able to get in.
So what do you do?
Well, what do you think will happen? Do you think that
Nothing will happen. Here's what's going to happen.
No.
Nothing's going to happen. The radio show will go on if Howard's here. And if he's not here, the radio show won't go on. Like that's what's crazy. It's a radio show.
Actually,
Howard's not going to fire you.
Jason, hold
Nothing's
on.
going to happen.
I know.
Hold on, because Tim's here. Tim, you can answer that question. If the bridges and tunnels are closed tomorrow, what happens?
Well, we have the opportunity to use our ISDN
No.
lines.
I'm saying, what if Howard says, I can get in, whoever else can get in, fuck it. But what if nobody else can get in?
And what if the power's down so his ISDN doesn't work?
Then he won't be able to communicate.
But what if he wants to come? What if Howard comes in tomorrow and it's he's the only one here?
Then he's got it. He said it today on the air. He's like, if I'm the only one here, I'll do the show. So that's up to him at that point.
Yeah.
Brad in Arkansas, you're on the wrap-up show.
It's just me here. I think Gary's a little overly sensitive. The last week or two, it's kind of a gray area for Shuli when he gets on, Hey, say what you want, but don't piss Gary off, No,
Shuli pissed a lot of people off, and I'm not telling him to stop doing it, but if you can go on the show and say, listen, I used to get mad at Jackie, and I used to get mad at Stuttering John, too, as they did at me when I would fuck with them.
As much stuff as you and I have done for Shuli, revenge is a bitch, Shuli.
What?
Right? Jesus Christ.
It's also a shitty show on Wednesday nights on ABC.
As long as we're all beating up on Shuli, one thing I did as a fat guy, I took offense to this, that Tim took you out to a meal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you paid for it, and then you turned around on him. And see, like I think as a fat guy, if someone pays for me,
did I not offer you money out of my pocket for my cheesecake that I ate?
Did.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Number one, I'm not a total schnurr, all right? And my job as a reporter and to bust people's balls on the show is to monitor everything this fucking guy orders and puts down his gullet.
By the way, that is a page directly out of the Stuttering John handbook. You could pay $1,000 in the champagne room at a strip club, and he'll make fun of the socks you wore and the tip you gave.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Baba Booey. Tuesday's wrap-up show was a very special wrap-up show because I wasn't here, John wasn't here because of the storm. None of us were here. You might have heard about that. I did it from my neighbor's phone at home. John had some sort of weird ISDN line set up. Some people were here in the studio, so it was very interesting. This is what happened.
So, rough morning for you, Gary, and I'm not talking about the weather.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I thought, I left everything in good hands. I did not go to sleep last night with the idea that I was not coming in this morning. I knew that it was a distinct possibility, but I thought I'd make every effort. So I was up at about 4:15. Tim and I spoke a couple of times, and I got a hold of Ronnie. And Ronnie said, don't even bother. The bridges and tunnels are closed. There's no way that you're getting in. And so now I'm trying to figure out a way to listen to the show because I should point out, I have no internet, no telephone. I am calling from my neighbor's house right now, who for some reason is the only person in the neighborhood with a hard line. I have a lighting system in my house which blew up last night and started smoking in the basement. So I don't really have lights on the first floor. But listen, I have a generator. I'm in good shape. I get satellite TV. My refrigerator's working, and I can charge devices, but I can't really use much. So this morning was a whole thing about how am I going to listen to the show? So what I ended up doing was listening to the show on Mary's iPhone because I needed my phone to be clear for calls coming in and out or texts or any of that stuff. And I was having a little trouble getting on, so I said, I'm going to go to the car. I actually went outside of my car, I started up my car, took it out of the garage, and, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, well, he may open up, he may say a few words about it, but I will be honest, I was not prepared for a full hour.
Yeah, I mean, he unleashed on you in a lot of different ways, but one thing you and I were actually texting back and forth a little bit, Gary, was does Howard understand why somebody would want to be in their house with their family during this disaster? And it was a disaster. I mean, there's never been a storm like this here before.
Correct.
Yeah, listen, I feel like this is like butting heads. I feel like some people look at it like Gary's, not going to listen to Howard. Gary's going to do what Gary wants to do, and it's not. It's not that at all. I wanted to be there this morning more than anything, but I also knew that last night was going to be scary, terrifying, and dangerous. And I had my wife and my son and the pets. I'll throw the pets in, and and it was scary. And it was one of those things where at one point Mary said to me, she turned around to me and she said, "Thank God you're here tonight, because if you weren't, I don't know what I would do." And, trees start snapping in the front yard, and that's scary. The lights start going off and on, off and on, off and on. And like I said, it blew out the lighting system, so then we smell smoke, and Mary's ready to call the fire department. I'm like, hold on. And so we weren't prepared to be without lights, so now I had to go look for all my I didn't really replace any of my flashlights because I know the generator will kick in. And so there were scary moments last night. Now, did a tree hit my house? No. Did anything bad happen to my family? No. But it's easy to look back on it now. My family was scared. I was scared for them, and that was really what it was all about.
Hey, Gary, can you see me or can just John see me?
Just John.
Okay.
Is the trampoline okay?
Well, I can't see you now, Benji. You got to move the iPad over a little bit.
Who cares, really?
But yeah,
But Benji, just sit down, write some stuff, and see if you can derail the conversation a little more.
Yeah, Gary, your trampoline took a couple hits during the show today as well.
I know the trampoline was fine. It's funny that I'm humored by. You know what I mean? That's one of the things you sort of bring up as an afterthought. You don't think it's going to get as much traction. I mean, I got tweeted thousands of flying trampoline pictures yesterday. Some of them I was photoshopped into, and I thought all that stuff was funny.
Hey, people were wondering, do you actually use a trampoline?
No, Betsy, my kids did at one time, but then you get to a point where they don't use it, and then sometimes the neighborhood kids use it, and then you get to a point where you just don't want to get rid of it, but you should, and that's where it is right now. I'll probably get rid of it this summer.
And we mentioned it on our weather show last night. Gary's trampoline has its own Twitter handle now.
See, that's funny to me. That's funny. You're goofing on the stuff that I do and everything, but that's funny. But somewhere along the line, and this is what I was trying to say this morning. First of all, the phone lines this morning were horrendous. I was the first one. I should have waited until somebody tested it out. It was just horrendous. And what was happening was, every time I spoke, it literally like a quarter of a second later, it reminded me of trying to make a long-distance phone call in the 60s. A quarter second later, I would hear my voice, and when Howard speak, I would hear his voice. So it got to the point when we were both speaking, I was hearing four voices at once. But the point I was trying to make this morning is, Howard said I attacked him yesterday, and I felt I got very defensive. There's no doubt. Maybe I lashed out, but it wasn't. I didn't feel like I was attacking. I felt like I was defending myself, my work ethic, and my family. And it was a weird thing. And when I said to Howard, again, with Shuli in there and Robin in there, the truth gets bent to a place where it's almost unrecognizable. When I said to Howard, I was like, listen, Howard, I don't have people at my house. I don't have a second house. I'm not in the same situation as you. It became Gary is an angry, jealous asshole. Like, especially today, Shuli's like, oh, Gary jumped on that really fast. And it was like, that just wasn't what it was. And John and I spoke to John briefly this morning. John, I've been out to Howard's house a ton of times. And I've told John about some of the things that I've done out there, and I harbor not an ounce of jealousy. And I can tell you that, when Howard used to do this rap about Jackie, Howard was right. Jackie used to count every little thing that Howard had. That's not my thing. In fact, I look at, it's funny, like, I'm so happy in the place that I live now. And Mary and I remember the day we moved in, we looked at each other, we go, this is more than we ever imagined we'd ever have. And I don't get jealous when I go to other people's places because I'm so happy with what I have. So I wasn't saying, hey, you're the big bad boss. I wasn't saying, oh, you rich asshole, look what you have. I was saying, your situation is different than mine. I'm asking you, can you look at my situation?
Hey, JD, what was it like in there this morning without Gary, Jason, Will, me, all the people who are usually there?
It was a little nerve-wracking. First, I had to deal with the spots, like the live spot books, because they weren't. I didn't get any emails or anything about it, and then finally we were able to look up and see what the live spots would be, and then I had to find. Jim was able to print out the other copies of the spots, and and then just pitching stuff to Howard and. It was just nerve wracking.
Can I give a big shout out to JD? JD and I went over all the pages yesterday, and I went to we haven't played this. We played this once. I know he liked this. He hasn't heard this yet, and I don't know what you did during the breaks, but I know what I heard on the air. And you did an amazing job of getting the stuff to him. So thank you.
Hey Gary, it's John.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Well, which part?
The forecast.
Oh, of course. Yes. Right, yes, you're good. You're excellent. You did a good job. Thank you.
Was Steve?
You did, though. He did. I mean, yes, you got it right.
Was Steve Brandano getting comfortable in Gary's chair? I heard him chime in a couple times over the.
Brandano started the morning with a Diet Lemon Snapple, a can out of Gary's refrigerator, treating himself to a drink that he says he hasn't had in 7 years since he's been
I said that would be my one shot at Gary for the whole day, because you know how it is around here with Howard TV and everybody in the news. Like they want you guys to be like, oh yeah, no, I can do this without Jason and Will and blah blah. All I did was have my Diet Snapple, and then I think we ran a pretty good show after that.
I felt for Steve when I heard the part where Howard got mad at you about the phones, and I know what it's like. I knew. Tim and I spoke at 4 o'clock this morning. There's not to get into it, but 3 of the 5 units that you need were down. We were trying to reroute calls this way, and you really have no say or pull over anything, Steve, except to relay information to Howard. You don't really know what to do, and I know that you were doing your best to put calls up, but at one point he was like, all right, this is enough, and then he was getting mad at you, but there's not much you can do.
Yeah, I felt for you with the, I don't know, just seeing how it goes, where you're relaying other people's messages, and you're the voice that's going to get yelled at when things go wrong. But Gary, where one of the things at the end of the show there, when he asked me to talk to Jimmy, I was like, oh, that's where one of Gary's skills is. You know exactly what Howard means. Howard said to me, yeah, go ahead, call Jimmy, find out if there's a show tonight. So I thought that meant call Jimmy, find out if there's a show tonight. So I did, and I was expecting to go back in and either say, yeah, I talked to Jimmy, he says the show's on, or and thank God I left him on hold, because we were able to eventually get him up. Good work by Jim and Al and everybody. But and Teddy.
How did you get Jimmy to call in?
I know where that information is here.
Yeah, but I called him right away.
Yes, and I told Howard that. And then Howard asked me what's up with Jimmy, and I said, well, Gary's on it, and I haven't heard from Gary. And he said, no, I told you to do that. So that's when I did it on my own.
Right.
And the egg white sandwich, too, you're under pressure for that.
Yeah, we nailed that, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the thing with Jimmy, you're right. The thing, even listening to Jimmy on air, there was no yes or no answer. So leaving him on hold was the right thing to do, and going in, doing it the right way. But I would have gone and said, hey, Howard, I got Jimmy on the line, and he might have gone, well, what does he do? What is it, yes or no? And I would have gone, well, it's not that simple. And we'd go, okay, I'll pick him up. But listen, you guys handled it very well today. Hey, John, I wanted to ask, since we can't take phone calls, some of the people in the room, like from Benji, for instance, what were your thoughts on the stuff that Howard was saying about me today?
I was comparing it to I guess I was a little feeling pissed off about the shit you guys give me when I've been late a couple times. I totally understand it, because your house is like a fucking $1 million wallet just sitting there exposed if you're not there to protect it. So I understand your feelings, but
Benji, I would say that it was less. I wouldn't say it wasn't. There was nothing about my house, but it was more about my family than it was about my house.
What I didn't understand. Listen, I don't really care. It's like it's not that big of a deal. But I don't have anger about it. I think it's between you and Howard. If Howard has anger about it, like I don't have any anger about it.
No,
but if you, I didn't understand the whole thing. Like, why not just bring them into the city if it's about protecting, like Mary and Lucas?
Well, because it's all. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's all of those things together, and I say this to you not in an insulting way, but you've never owned a home, and if you did, you wouldn't want.
No, that's why I said, like, to me, that's scary as fuck. Just like I don't like to. It's like leaving a wallet out.
Well, it's not just it's not like it's a wallet.
No, I said like $1 million wallet.
But I mean, yeah, you wouldn't like imagine if a wire came down, right? Okay, so this happened a month and a half ago. A wire came down at the house across the street in the brush, and it started a brush fire. Now, we got the fire department here. It was a bright, sunny day. We got the fire department here pretty quickly, and they were able to put it out. So if that happened last night, and I, probably couldn't get the fire department here, myself and a bunch of neighbors would be out with hoses trying to put it out. You know what I mean?
Well, Gary, 2 kids were killed last night. A tree fell into a house and killed 2 children.
The point I'm making is, Benji, is it's easy to say. Even that guy who was in the email today said, hey, I've been in a lot of hurricanes in Florida. I don't have insurance, and so I had to stay with my house. Which I don't understand that part either, because just because I have insurance doesn't mean that you should walk away from it. Because, like I said, something small like that could happen that you could take care of, and I should not be here, so the whole house should burn down.
That's originally why I said it. To me, it'd be like leaving a $1 million wallet exposed.
Gary, do you regret not going in today? Do you regret anything really over the past 2 days?
Okay, I don't regret not coming in today, and I will tell you that when last night, when all the stuff was happening in the house, between 6 and 7, Mary at one point looked at me. She goes, "I am so glad that you were here. I'm so glad that you didn't stay in." And this morning, she got up at about 7:30, and she could tell that I was visibly upset. She could tell that I was just upset. She said, "What happened?" I said, "It's yesterday, like times 100, and today I don't believe is kidding." I should point that out. Like, a lot of people hit me yesterday and said, "Hey, I thought Howard was kidding. It was just a bit for the show." But I think today there was no mistake. There was no joke involved. And I told Mary, I said, I'm just getting hammered today. It's I'm a disloyal scumbag. And she looked at me, and these big tears welled up in her eyes, and she said, "You know what? Nobody can tell you any differently. You did the right thing." So I didn't need her to tell me that, but it was great to hear.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, it was all about the hurricane, how everyone was responding to Howard and Robin wondering where the dependable people were. Ross Zapin thought Jason would take advantage of the opportunity. Richard was upset. A lot of people were upset. Tempers and tension running high, which makes for a good wrap-up.
A bunch of people are in here now from the show, and a lot of people are wondering where Howard really comes down on this, because some people are saying he's sending a mixed message. He's very, he wants to protect his family. He understands where everyone's coming from, but if you can make it in, great, but if you can't, we're going to go on without you. Do you think he's sending a clear message here, or what is everybody missing?
Yeah, I think the message is the show comes first. And hopefully people can deal with that. I don't know. I mean, he gave Gary a lot of crap, and you wonder, is it show shtick or is it real? But you brought up in the beginning of the show with Howard, if he was in the situation that everybody else is, would he be here? I think he would. I think he's always done that through his career, no matter what the weather was and what was going on. The show came first, and I think it starts from the top and goes down for everybody else. But look, at the end of the day, everybody has to make their own choices. Jason made his choice to be with his wife and his cats, and everybody should feel comfortable. Hopefully, everybody's secure in their position. That if push comes to shove, that doesn't become a reason why there has to be a change. And I don't know. I have not spoken to Howard. I'm just giving you my
I'm
two
asking
cents
you because
to that question.
You're tight with him, but the uncomfortability, I think, comes from people here not wanting to let Howard down. I mean, that's really what it is. And ultimately, everybody here, I think, does whatever they can to get in. But if you physically can't get in here, or you make a decision, I should say, to leave and then possibly not come back, I think folks feel that's going to be held against you down the road some way.
Look, that's with anything, with disappointment. I mean, in a relationship, in a business and personal, look, when you let somebody down, you always wonder, like, in the back of your mind, is it going to come back to haunt you in some way?
Gary even said he feels like Howard thinks of him as less dependable based on what happened this week.
Wow, you do? I missed that.
Yeah,
you don't get that. You're not.
He
hearing
sincerely
that?
does.
I
do you think any of this is a bit?
Yes.
Oh, I don't.
I think.
What part of it's a bit?
The dragging it on over and over and over and over again. I mean, I think it really has. I think there's a kernel of or more than a kernel of real feelings there. But what I mean, if Howard looks at the guys who showed up, the quote unquote dependable guys. Okay, you got two guys who have no families. There are no families here, right? Steve and JD who got hotel rooms. You had Jim McClure who lives in the same area ish as Howard. You have Howard who didn't need to leave anywhere. He lives in town. I mean, everybody that was here were people that lived in Midtown Manhattan and everybody that could physically get to work, and two guys that don't have a wife or kids or anything back home that stayed at the hotel.
And Shuli. Because you got to put Shuli in a different category.
And
Shuli has a kid.
Well, and Shuli...
And lives outside the New York City,
right.
Manhattan.
Yeah. And Shuli is in a desperate situation. I mean, he's desperate for a job. He told me flat out that he left his house on Sunday with tears rolling down his eyes that he was leaving his wife and kid behind. You know, he manned up and was able to do that, leaving a sick kid and his wife behind in Queens. You and I and Will made a different decision.
Yeah, I want to put one more thing in perspective because I really don't want to dwell on the subject, but I want to put something in perspective. You know, the storm, by the time we got up Tuesday morning, the storm had sort of passed. But the feeling was when I left my house on Sunday night with a bag packed, because I had not made the decision whether I was staying in or not, was that if you stayed in on Monday after 1 o'clock, the odds of you getting home before Wednesday were slim and none.
That's right. That's why everyone was in such a rush to get out of here Monday after the show.
It wasn't just like a couple of hours to go home and you could have come back. It was you were going to leave your family and your home for a good 48 hours.
Yeah, if you could go back, would you change? Did you make a mistake, or do you stand by your decision?
I stand by my decision.
And one other point, going back to, you should always remember those shows and those times that Howard says, Gary's the best parent on this show. So I think, shtick and real life, I think you may get the benefit of the doubt, like deep down, he knows that your family's coming first.
I just see DePace over your shoulder laughing at that statement, by the way.
No, but I'm not opposed. In other words, what Ross is saying, whether I'm the best or not, because that's what bothers Scott. I'm not opposed.
Sorry, I don't want to get in the middle of this one now.
I can already answer this. I know Scott well enough. What Ross is saying is, to say I care about my family, I'm not a poser. I didn't just pull that out for the storm.
Right.
Jason, on the other hand, and honestly, I think this was your chance to step up, but no one else around. I know I kept joking with Steve calling him Al Haig back there, but this was your chance to be Gary. First of all, to get there when nobody was around, and it was your chance to really step up and show.
I'll tell you. I see every day as an opportunity to step up, and I've showed Howard what I can do, and he's promoted me and given me accolades every day on the air. Look, there was no
territory, though.
This was part of the territory, and if Howard said, I cannot do the show without you tomorrow, I need you to be here, then maybe that would have been a different conversation. But
if he would have said that to you.
If he would have said that to me, he goes, if he said, I need you here tomorrow, or we can't do the show, if you're not here for me, the show doesn't go on.
Right.
That would have been a different
But
conversation.
why?
That wasn't
but you heard him say, can I depend on you?
Right.
So if you're like next in line for the throne, why wouldn't you have heard that and said, you know what? I know this show will go on without me, but there is no, out of the 3 producers, I'm going to be the one to be here to be dependent on.
Because I'll tell you why. Because
he didn't specifically say, Jason, I can't do the show without you?
No. Well, listen. Let me. I'll answer all your questions.
Okay.
Just give me an opportunity to answer. If Howard had said to me, Jason, I literally cannot do the show without you, and I need you to be here, I'm not saying I definitely would have been here, but it would have been maybe a longer, more serious talk. My wife was not coming into the city. We were not leaving our house. I was not leaving my wife alone in an apartment with no electricity during the biggest... Hold on, can I finish my statement? During the biggest storm. Not just to protect her, but for me too. That's why I wanted to be around. I didn't want to be in a hotel.
You could have brought her into the city.
No, I couldn't. Hold on a second. No, I couldn't. And I'll tell you why. Tim and Howard keep screaming hotel rooms. I would have had to bring my wife, our dog, our 2 cats to share a hotel room with Will, his wife, and his baby. Now, I'm not doing it.
I'm sure they would have
come on and do it.
But Will wasn't staying here.
No, hold on a second. Nobody knew who was staying where.
I was told I had to share a room with Will.
Tim did put it out. In fact, it was really funny because he said, you guys are bunking together. Who's bunking? And I sent out the note.
I don't know.
And I was almost going to say, John and I have to stay together.
So here's the deal. If Will wanted to keep his family together, then Will and Tracy and Owen would have had to come up into the city to share a room with me and my wife and my dog and 2 cats. And quite frankly, no, I'll be very honest. It was not not worth it to come in to do a 4-hour radio show in the middle of a hurricane.
But
it was
Monday,
not.
that's different. Will was not coming in Monday. He was not going to stay in the hotel because the kid and all the deals. So
he came
why
in Monday
night would you not have went to the hotel?
No, we both came in Monday.
No, the
I know, Scott's asking what was the determination that made you leave on Monday?
Because what you
could have
just
the room
said
to yourself.
Oh, no. I didn't know I could for sure have the room. Will and I left together. I wasn't for sure I could have a room for myself, and at that point, it was way too late. It was late. We left at 12:30 to get back to Hoboken, get packed, get everyone
honestly,
over there.
If you had if you knew you had your own hotel room, you would have stayed in the
and
city?
his wife and his cat.
If I knew I had my own hotel room, it would have been a much more easier conversation to go, hey, maybe we can move everybody in here.
Did you ever,
that was not the
Did you ever think of going to Tim and say, hey, look, I'd be open to having a discussion that if I can get my own room so I can have my wife and my cat, and I don't know if you said dog, then is it worth the discussion that I can have that so I can be here for the show? I'm sure Tim would have found a room for you.
Or would have been have that discussion with me.
Looking back,
or with Gary, or with Steve.
Looking back, would have been worth it for you to say to yourself, "Hey, I'll just get a fucking hotel room and I'll shine that day."
No, trust me.
He made
for
a
somebody who's constantly being accused of being a kiss ass, my answer is very consistent here, regardless of whether Howard or Robin are mad or not mad at it. Nobody was coming into the city. The city was a more dangerous place to be than where I was staying. I was in a very high point in Hoboken. Hoboken is a disaster area, except in a 3-block radius around my house. And I wasn't going to leave my wife there by herself, and I wasn't going to be separated from my wife during the middle of that storm when the power goes out and everything. And if I had internet access and I could see what was happening in Hoboken, because I just saw the pictures today, I'd be my heart would be ripped out of the chest. I couldn't do it. Maybe Shuli's got a stronger constitution than me. I don't know what to say. He wants it more. I don't know what to say.
Well, hold on. Let's move off this because Richard's here. We'll get back to it. But Richard, of Doug, Gary, Scott Salem, everybody, it seemed like Howard said he was most disappointed in you. And you try to explain the rain and how you were dealing with that, but Robin and Howard really didn't seem to really want to hear that.
Well, he seems like he's disappointed in me a lot of times, whether I'm here or not.
By the way, I think if you got me, Doug, Richard, and Scott in here, each one of us would individually tell you that we thought he was most disappointed in us.
Well, hold on a second.
I would say me, Doug would say Doug, Richard would say Richard, and Scott would say Scott.
But see, I don't think he was most disappointed in me because I think he thinks I'm kind of retarded anyway, so I don't think he was surprised.
Well, Robin really lit into you today. She was fired up from the get-go, but you in particular felt the wrath. Why do you think that was?
I don't know. I said the wrong thing and made her angry. And
well, that was what I wanted to.
That's why I planned. I'm sorry, Gary. I planned on just going and say, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not going to argue." I tried a little bit to defend myself, and it backfired.
But I was going to sort of get into that, shifting gears a little bit. Early on, Robin asked Howard at like 6:05, what about Gary? And he goes, you know what? It's enough, whatever. And Robin seemed to want to talk about it more than when Doug came in, they spoke about it. But Robin, I would say, seemed angrier about it than Howard.
I agree.
Even to the point where she said, you should hear what I say about these people off the air.
Well, Robin has
Jim
said
McClure, call in.
Robin has said about me before, and I'll never forget this. She said one time, nobody would care if I died.
Wow.
And so it's like I'm used to being ripped into by her.
But the thing that was getting lost there was, she was saying whether, why would you leave your family in a dangerous place? And I would say that's not the same situation. I didn't leave my family in a place where they could die. I left them in a place where there was some danger going on. I didn't think they were going to die.
Protect them.
Where I could protect them. But Robin was just so angry.
A lot of venom. Just venom.
And she does not see that money does play a part in this. Like, us wanting to protect our houses is very important to us. Maybe it's not to her. Maybe she's got enough money to.
Yeah, why not? Let's let it get washed out to sea. She'll just buy another one.
Well, they kept saying to me that all my stuff is junk. What does it matter?
And by the way, because Robin really, I don't think she understands what relationships are like, considering she hasn't really been in a real relationship in a long time. So let me explain something about what it means to protect your family. No, I couldn't do anything if a tree crashed through my roof. Okay, I couldn't do anything. What I could do is be there and hold my wife's hand when the power went out, and to be the guy that says everything's going to be fine when I knew everything might not be fine. Robin has a lot of opinions about how people should protect or not protect their loved ones. You know what, Robin? Why don't you find a loved one and then you can tell us how to protect her?
All right, Jason, calm down. But he's got some venom in it too. But I said this on the air yesterday. I'm going to say it again. There was a period of time during the storm where you could hear a tree snap in the front yard, where the lights flickered off and on, where I heard pop, 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 because the modules on my computer lighting blew up and started smoking, and Mary wanted to call the fire department. And exactly what Jason just said is what I was there for.
Man.
Okay? They were never in any danger. But I think had I not been there, I was doing a lot of things that I knew I could look at it and go, I think this is what it is. She couldn't. And so she wanted to call the fire department. I'm thinking, call the fire department. This is the last fucking place they're coming.
Right.
There's an actual fire going on down the block. So what I could do is comfort her. And that's what I was there for.
She kept saying, why would you stay home? Why would you stay home? If it's so dangerous, why would you stay home? Where else is everyone going? Everything it said that if you're not in a flood zone or an evacuation zone, the safest place is at home.
No, but her
and you
point
stay with your family.
But
Yeah, Doug, why weren't you in? She questions, and what are you going to do for your family? Well, when the power goes out and I have two little kids who are scared shit, you need a parent for each of them. You don't want them running around the house. But again, like Jason said, she wouldn't know this.
Her point was that you had on Monday, you had time to bring your kids in to do what like.
Why would you bring your kids to the city?
I'm just
to
stating
a place that is basically
I'm stating her point. I'm not
it's
saying
a
I agree
moronic
with it.
statement
Hold
and
on.
offensive
Why
and
did
dumb.
John get off here? No one ever said about
Yeah,
John.
why did John wasn't here?
What's my call?
Yeah, why were you home yesterday?
Because I wanted to be with my family.
Oh, what are you going to do to be with your family?
And I made that decision.
But John, do
Your
you
kids are older.
Hold on.
Yeah, your kids are in college.
What everybody's getting at is, do you think that that it was?
Yes, I think Robin told them.
No, do you think that Robin didn't understand? Like do you understand why you wanted to be in your home?
Do I understand? Yes. The point.
So why do you think she did?
Pretty clearly. No. The point I'm trying to make is this. Robin was saying, if a tree falls and you're there, what are you going to do? So why not, if you have the means, why not be in a hotel with your family, quote unquote, safe, and then whatever happens to your house happens? My take on it is, I'm not leaving my house.
Right.
I want to be there with my family.
Most normal people
and
take
I
it.
want to be in the house. If it goes down, I'm there for
You
that.
go down with your
and
ship.
I'm there
and
with my family.
If her ship
And-
sinks, she could buy another one.
But that's
we
not-
can't.
But that's not fair.
That's not fair.
And that's really not fair.
Well, why is that not fair? Hold on a
Because
second.
because
Forgetting
it's-
the rich.
I'm talking about my situation.
Right.
I'm talking about my situation. So I said yesterday, the people across the street from me, the power went off and on, off and on, off and on, and they had like a little flame spit out of their electrical outlet, and then all the surge protectors melted. Now, if that could have turned into a small fire.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
I wasn't home, my house would burn down. If I am home, I have a way to put that fire out. That is a perfect example of why I wanted
Well,
to
I
stay home.
kept water from getting into my apartment. It would have ruined everything in our living room and our bedroom.
Oh, but your stuff is stupid.
But let's say, like,
but it's my stupid.
But let's
stuff.
say you're sitting in your house, you're with your family, you know the decision you've made, and nothing, very little happens. Do you then regret that decision? And the answer is absolutely not.
That's all hindsight. Again,
hindsight.
Let Robin go take a ride around Jersey or somewhere. And again, I feel for her because her house is probably destroyed.
She told me that she always wanted. She told me she always wanted bay and ocean views, and she's pretty sure she has both now.
I think it probably is.
But can I just the point I was trying to make before, because I lost my train of thought, was at the end of the day, especially from Robin. I can't say this about Howard, but from Robin, I think she was trying to paint us as a bunch of people who were looking for any opportunity to take a free day off, and I don't think that represents any person in this room.
Absolutely not.
And I worked at home too. Howard was saying,
Yeah, I
"What
worked
did
at
you
home,
do?"
too.
I did work at home that made it onto the air Monday and
I got up
Tuesday.
at 4 a.m. yesterday. I logged the show until my app and phone ran out of power, and that log is now in our database.
But we've
worked.
I've worked with people who are like, I work with people who have used everything from religious holidays you've never heard of, like All Saints Day,
Like Scott Salem.
Well, but even other than that,
Yom
but
Kippur.
I've worked with people in other jobs who have used lots of crazy excuses to get days off.
It's Tisha
We don't
B'Av.
get that here. Right? We don't get that here.
Well, how about I sent you-
John, you worked on, I mean, you're not super religious, but you worked on a pretty holy holiday
me
that you
too.
would have taken
Well,
off, right?
Today,
All of us Jews
today is a religious holiday for me,
Right.
Halloween, and I'm here.
we were hitting Robin a little bit there, but
Jason was.
Well, I think but is that anger misplaced? Like, Doug, you went in there today. You weren't pissed at Robin. You were pissed at Howard.
I was annoyed at the whole situation. I just felt I was attacked because I passed on and followed directions given directly to me by the company. And the plan was to not send anyone in. No one could go in was the mandate. I fought it, and they were comfortable with 3 guys, or it was more if there were more in New York, who can come in. So I got the show up and running. And We didn't cut a daily show. We have no power. We have our servers down. So I couldn't do anything differently than if I was here at home. I listened to the show. I took notes. I know what we're doing. Nick was at home logging the show. So everything sort of happened remotely, and I made it happen. But no, I get the shit kicked out of me because it's more fun. I get it. I don't know if it was a bit. I sort of felt like Gary, like it became genuine feelings. And it was like fury. I'm glad I didn't call in yesterday. Thank God, because I was on fire yesterday.
But by the end of the segment
I would've sounded
today,
like Jason,
you were apologizing. You were
because it's like, I think he had a little bit of a flip where he was sort of apologizing back to everyone, saying, "I think he sort of flip flopped the lead." Well, good. Well,
it is. I have to
counterpoint
say,
might hurt then.
Monday, I listened to the show from home, and there's nothing as frustrating as hearing Howard talking about you.
Oh
and
my
you're
God!
going, no, that's not right.
Well, that was that crappy phone call I made yesterday. The line was so bad. I'm trying to talk to Howard.
Oh, it's even worse, I think.
It was worse. But we should talk about, because Scott DePace and I were just talking about this a little bit. So yesterday, after the storm is sort of over, I realized at about 11 o'clock, holy shit, I got to get out of this